Hello everyone, welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel. This is me, Annie, and I will be drawing for you today. Grab your tea, coffee and snacks and let's dive into today's video. Today I'm going to do the second half of the Takopi's original scene fan art of Shizuka. So if you haven't seen part 1, go check it out on my channel. And as I started the first part with acrylic paint pens, I decided I would proceed with the same materials and continue coloring with acrylic paint pens, and the colors on the eyes are actually made with alcohol-based markers because Shizuka's eyes are nice and brown and I don't have enough colors on my acrylic paint pen palette, so I decided to fill in the colors with my alcohol-based markers. At first I didn't want to do it because it would ruin the other side of the page, because alcohol-based markers are bleeding a lot in this sketchbook, but I figured I will just fill it in with some simple drawing with acrylic paints and that will cover up all the bleed through with alcohol-based markers. But firstly I'm filling in the color of the hair, as the background gap is already filled with pink from the previous video, and I decided that I would keep the skin uncolored because Shizuka's skin color is pretty pale, so even though the other elements are colored, it still kind of looks fully colored because of her pale skin. Also, this keeps the manga style intact, and I like how all the colored elements are actually standing out a lot, especially when part of the painting is not colored at all. So in contrast with the color of the paper, her eyes and hair are going to be even darker. So the idea of the fan art came to me when I watched the show, and I've seen the development story of Shizuka's as main character, and I assume that you have watched the show, and if not and you don't want any spoilers, they are going to be ahead, so please save this video for later or after when you watch the show. You've been warned. So as I was saying, I like Shizuka's point of view on the story because she is a very big victim of her own circumstances and family and all of that. Like, her mother doesn't pay attention to her, her father she basically doesn't even know, he's non-existent in her life either, and she's just tackling every trouble in the world all alone. And when we are introduced to Marina, the other character that is bullying Shizuka, and the reason why is that happening, I cannot help myself but empathize with Shizuka even more, because she is not the one to be blamed for that. Marina started bullying her because apparently Shizuka's mother has stolen Marina's father from the family, but the truth is, if father didn't want to leave the family, he wouldn't have, so it's his choice. And also, Shizuka is not responsible for her mother's actions either. She is just a kid and a victim of her mother's action as much as Marina is. And like any other kid, she just wants to be happy. And some people empathize with Marina more, but I cannot agree, because bullying cannot be excused by any circumstance, honestly, because bullying another person is a bully's choice. I understand this from Marina's perspective as well, to find somebody to blame in her own unhappiness and her own family problems, because she's also just a kid, same age and, you know, same problems, same struggles, but at least she has friends. Shizuka doesn't have anybody other than her pup. Shout out to the pups and all the pets out there. You are guys lifesavers and we as humanity don't deserve you. But anyway, we see in the first episode that Shizuka is more vulnerable to poor choices because of what she's done with the reconciliation ribbon that Takopi has given to her. And I'm no mental health specialist, but even I can see that Shizuka has a lot of developmental problems due to negligence of her mother and her father. It's very well shown in the scene where Takopi decides to put his camera in action the other way, you know, and accidentally breaks his camera and Marina's head. And any other normal person would be terrified to see such a result, but she's like becoming happy and her face just turns to be shining with happiness. This alone shows that Shizuka is already so screwed up. And I could go on for so long talking about all the problems that the anime has shown to us, but still, with this artwork I wanted to kind of highlight that for Shizuka in the end everything turned turned out to be okay. And I wanted to discreetly showcase that when Takopi is present in her life, her face is sad, and when he's gone, she actually can start smiling as her life goes another path. Because no matter how much Takopi actually tried to help Shizuka and Marina, without fully understanding them or their problems, it's no use. Like, whatever happy gadgets you're trying to force on them, they're not gonna work. So the show is demonstrating very well to us when people are trying to help other people who are struggling with some situations and circumstances with some unsolicited advice, or like very useful advice like, oh, you are depressed? Just don't be sad. Smile more. Go for a walk. Start going to gym. Or for those who have eating disorder, for example, just eat your food. Wow, I haven't thought about that. Thank you. You see how absurd this sounds? So yeah, this show has demonstrated this kind of behavior very well with Takopi, and it was very satisfying actually when he realized what he has done and that he needs to go. And Shizuka and Marina in the end became friends, which is more or less happy ending. I mean, their family problems haven't gone anywhere, but at least they have each other now to understand and support each other and not to have to deal with everything on their own. So yeah, I am quite satisfied with the outcome, and that goes also to the artwork that I have on hand right now. I think I have achieved in capturing Shizuka's two faces in one. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on my little venting and fan art video. Let me know about your thoughts about the show and the artwork down in the comments. Who do you empathize with more, Shizuka or Marina or Azuma perhaps? I hope none of the above, but who knows? You have your story to tell me. I'm wishing you a wonderful week ahead, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!